What's the deal? All praises. We back live Atlanta. Snowed in. Day 2. This California stuff is going crazy. So we don't want to make nothing light about that. Prayers to my people out there in California, especially my people out there in the SGV. You feel me? Altadena, all that, Pasadena, the Dinas, all that. You know. Prayers with y'all. The snow in Atlanta is pretty much gone. It's just icy on the yards and stuff like that. Shalom, what's going on, yo? Checking back in live. But yeah, man, we just gonna have some fun. Y'all see we on the Urban Gorilla channel. We back on the Urban Gorilla channel. So y'all know what we do on this channel. It's the casual channel. You know we might have a little fun. Who knows? Who knows what we do on this channel? It's never no telling, right? On the Urban Gorilla channel. I got some content I want to look at. Number one, outside of the fires and things like that, man, you know, a legend passed in LA. A legend passed. He goes by the name of AC Moses, aka King Babalouie. A legend. We're gonna look at some of the AC Moses content in a second. A legend. He is an original Crip and original Blood. No cap. He's a part of the foundation of starting the Crips and a part of the foundation and orchestrator of starting the Bloods. Legend. Ain't nobody else who could say that but him and live to be a good old man too. Right? So, you know, he was from the east side there of South Central, came up with Raymond Washington, was a part of Raymond Washington, the founder of the Crips original crew. This before Tookie came on the scene. This on the east side. Crips started on the east side when you know your history. You know, Tookie was originally an Al Capone. And you had the Al Capones, the Smacks, and some other West Side gangs that came together and joined with the Crips on the east side to formulate East Side Crip, West Side Crip, then come Compton Crip, then it started breaking off into sets, right? Babalouie was a part of that original East Side with Raymond. Raymond started having conflict with other certain people, older people that Babalouie was close with. So Babalouie had started to distance himself from Raymond because he didn't want to get in the middle of two people he had love for. So he started going to his family in Compton on Paru Street. He began to formulate a little crew on Paru Street. The Parus and the Crips had a conflict at Compton High. It's the Crips that was at Carver Park that are now known as Carver Park Compton Crips. That's the original Compton Crip hood. A lot of people give it to the grannies, but if you actually follow the history, Compton Crip 2Cs really start at Carver Park. Don't shoot the messenger. There's a conflict at Compton High with the kids off Paru Street and the newly formulated Compton Crips. So AC Babalouie comes to back the Paru Street guys. He realizes these are Crips he's into it with. He's confused because he's like, well, I don't know y'all. Then, of course, guys like, you know, Mac Thomas and things like that come along. It's a lot. It's a lot of history. Shout out to Neff. He know the history. And, you know, you watch Kev Mac videos, you get the history. And we're going to watch some of the Kev Mac videos in a minute and understand really the history of this Blood and Crip thing. So he's on Power Law. Shalom, brother. Appreciate you. So this is where people said Pyrus used to be Crips. The Pyrus didn't used to be Crips. Babalouie, who is the orchestrator, the formulator of the Pyrus, used to be a Crip, was an original East Side Crip for sure. Like Bro Neff just said, Salty and Mac Thomas. So he realized so the Paru Streets and the Crips was cool. Then tension built. Eventually, the Parus joined up with the anti-Crip gangs, like the Bounty Hunters, right? And eventually in YTS, which is a youth juvenile detention facility, they formulated the Bloods based off the blood that they shed in conflict with the Crips, and they chose the red bandana. That left the Crips with the blue bandana by default. That's where the red and the blue come from. It come from YTS. He breaks all this down. And I'm gonna show it to you on Kev Mac videos. Big up to Kev Mac. Salute you. I'm gonna use some of your content. You've seen this. I'm gonna use some of the content. I'm giving all credit due. Kev Mac is the foremost Los Angeles gang historian as far as I'm concerned. And that's not a knock towards Alex Alonso. That's not a knock towards Melly Mel. Big up to both of them and any other gang historians. But I think the research and the interviews that Kev Mac has brought us in association with S-Mac as well, I think that the most rich historical information is found on that Kev Mac video platform, hands down. When it comes to the formulation of Crips and Bloods, starting from the 60s, the 70s, into the basically from the 60s, from 68, 69 to the truce, Kev Mac is the foremost authority. First-hand accounts. They the one told us about the first Crip on Crip beef, which is not A-Train 6-0, which was the Hoovers and the Hunnits. That happened all the way back 75. Yeah, we gonna take a trip. We're gonna take a trip down memory lane with Kev Mac videos and King Babalouie. We're gonna talk about that. 1000%. So yeah, they formulated the Bloods and YTS. The anti-Crip gangs came together in an alliance. This is why all the original Blood gangs don't got a B on their name, or the B be the fourth letter. The B kind of don't fit in their name. What do I mean? IF, Inglewood Families. IFG, Inglewood Family Gang. No B. Then they add the B, Inglewood Family Gangster Bloods. Devil Lane Gang, Devil Lane Gangster Bloods. See that? That B come fourth. Why? Because these are gangs that pre-exist being Bloods. Paru, they just put the P on it. Paru Street. Bounty Hunter, BHW, Bounty Hunter Watts. They are Bloods, but that's Bounty Hunter Watts. The Bishops. 9 Deuce Bishop, Pablo Bishop. You see what I'm saying? So that's your original Blood. That's why none of them niggas had a B in. And like the Chain Gang, really IFG, Inglewood Family come from the Chain Gang. When you understand your history. Right, so you had, like I said, Inglewood Family, the Bishops, Devil Lanes, Bounty Hunter Watts, Paru, of course, Brim. They're not called the Brim Bloods. They just called the Brim. These are the original BPSs, which that come from Chicago. They didn't have a B on it. Even the villains. Right? 20s, they was just neighborhood. There was just 20 neighborhood. Then they put the B on it. Then the East Side 20s is what? Outlaws. They already had these names. And then they all came together as anti-Crips. Swan, another one. Family Swan, Mad Swan. Which they got the Swans, which then you had they had neighborhood rolling 80s on their stuff too. See what I'm saying? I think, did Alex show that? Yeah, the villains. Then they put the BS on the V, but it was always villain. Then they put the BS on it. Which you can hear about all that on Kev Mac, but I think Guerrilla TV, GRLA.TV, by the way. YouTube channel for the free content, exclusive premium content on GRLA.TV, starting at just $5. Mind you, also UrbanGirl.com for the merch. This is a one-on-one. Y'all see I got the Tiffany blue on today. That Robin's Egg blue, Tiffany blue, Astro in the sweatsuit. You see how I'm coming? Hold on. You see how I'm coming? Feel me? Hebrew Israelite clothing, Kozeets. You see how I'm coming? Period, nigga. Fuck about no snow, nigga. Sad. No, I'm playing. Let's go to, watch this. Street TV. Watch this. Alex got some good stuff. And like I said, there's no knock to Alex. Alex is a top historian too, but just the first-hand accounts, you can't really beat Kev Mack out them rolling 60s. Neighborhood Family Swan. Yep, right here. This one.
It's Edmund, and this is where I grew up. Most people know me by that, and my street name was Crazy Ed. This is 78th and Stanford, in between Avalon and Central, which we call growing up was Eastside Swans back in the day. Then it became Mad Swan Blood. So we in Swans.
So originally it was just Eastside Swans. Before the B, then it became the Mad Swan Bloods. Then you got Mafia Swan Bloods. I'm gonna give you a breakdown of this mother, you know what I'm saying? Shout out Papa, right? Okay, so the DL inherited the G from Crenshaw Mafia. Athens Park, that's another one. Original, this before the Blood thing came out. All these existed before the Blood thing came out. Then the gangs that came out later, they already had the B on it. Right? They already have the B on it. For example, Center Park Bloods. They break off from IFG after the Blood thing came out in the late 70s. So they already come out CBP, right? Or CPB rather. I'm thinking about C the Block. Center Park. The B is already on it. These are the gangs that came later. Right? Another thing, the Figueroa Boys, that's pre-Crip and Blood thing. The Figueroa Boys. This ain't the one I'm talking about. They in the alley with Alex. Right here, 30-year-old graffiti, right here. So look, he throwing up listen, because you don't hear the younger generation, they don't put they don't press NHF like that. He put on there NHFSB. That's Neighborhood Family Swan Bloods 892, 89th Street, 92nd Street. You got the Mad Swan Bloods, then you got Family Swan Bloods. That's also tied in with Inglewood Family Gangster Bloods. That's that F family. Y'all will notice something. The Bloods is blood gangs with that F, with that family up in their name, not really Crip gangs with F in it, with the family in it. You don't see that. It's like a blood thing.
Now you gotta block it up.
Block it up. Be honest with you. His strikes are weak. That B and that 8 is all right. The entire rest of that in the street is all right. The whole rest of this whole strike, how weak? Them strikes is weak. Be honest with you. No knock to the brother. He ain't got no business with a can in his hand. Swans, y'all got Mexicans from y'all hood. Let the Mexicans tag it up. They do it right.
Come on, bro. Stop playing, bro. This is live.
They know his strikes is weak. That B and that 8 is cool though. Block it up. There you go. That's a good F. That's a good block F.
Holy.
He redeeming himself. See, now he's going in. He tagging all the swans. 779, 804, 892. See, he did it up there. Okay. These are all the swan clips. 77, 79th, 80th, 84th, 89th, 92nd. Some family swan blood, mass swan blood.
Hard and loud.
'70s, from the 70s to the 80s to the 90s, still right now.
But I'm gonna tell y'all something. The swans ain't nothing to play with. On that east side, swans ain't nothing to play with when it comes to bloods on the east side.
Gate locked on. Gate up right now, cause they put a fucking indictment, man, on our bill.
You see that SF hat? Family swans.
This man, we can talk about it because it's all on the news. You can Google it. They put indictments, man, on our buildings, man. So they got cameras. That's a camera. That's a camera. You know what I mean? They got cameras facing every which way.
Oh, there's cameras on that
on
building?
that shit. That's a camera right there.
Federal
Order and bounty hunter. You ain't lying.
FBI shit. You know what I mean?
Right here, we call this right here the concrete.
This is a concrete right here.
We call this the concrete right
This
here.
is OG shit right here. This is the concrete. This all
been here
for
before I was born. This shit been here for over 20 years.
This kind of like new right here.
Yeah, that's new.
With this shit though that we did though, represent our homie right here.
Whoa.
You know what I mean? OG Bush Dog, East Side Neighborhood Family, Family Swans. It's an 89 rural. You know what I mean?
Real.
You know what I mean? Family rural. This how we do. Manchester 92nd. Kids and Crip, Avalons, Main Streets, and anything that represent 88. Killer. You know what I mean?
Fuck skirt, fuck bomb,
Inglewood
fuck
Family, Family Swan, Bloodstone Village. That's the whole East Side. That's what we represent.
It's called VSOP. But see, you see they even got IF on there.
Anything that represent 88. Killer. You know what I mean?
Fuck skirt, fuck bomb,
Inglewood Family, Family Swan, Bloodstone Village. That's the whole East Side. That's what we represent. Our first homie got killed right here, man. Touche, man. Rest in peace, man. Renee Keita, man. That was 1981.
Touche.
You know what I mean? Touche. That's he got killed right here. And that's what set the trend off, man, to us to push what we push and do our shit. Wasn't none of this right here.
Shout out to the brothers from Hossies.
All this shit was gone. And as you can see right now, you know what I mean? With the police, all that shit, you know what I mean? 24-hour surveillance. They got us on surveillance. Rolling 80s, you know what I mean?
See that? That's how far I go back. They was calling themselves rolling 80s. They bloods, though.
That's what it was at first. We represent that. You know what I mean? With everybody else that say they pushing rollers first, we've been doing that since the 70s. How you
They've been pressing. They was pressing rolling in neighborhoods since the 70s.
can see, MFSB, Mad Family Swan Bloods, 84th Street, 89th Street. All this shit old as fuck. 89, that shit been there like 20 years. This shit been,
Who there in the chat? Taj, y'all, man. The water keeping it through our drive alive, man. All praise.
shit been right here since I was a baby. Since I was like 9 years
We taking y'all to the gang world on this stream.
old.
We taking y'all on the gangology on this stream.
This shit over like 25 years old right here, man. They never painted over it, man. They know what it is. And as you can see, this what it was. This shit been there. On God, this shit been like 87, man, 88. This real gang bang writing. This real shit. They show right here, you know what I mean? 89 blocked up. That's the real one. East Side Family. This shit been about like 90. This from the 80s right here.
Let me see.
All this shit from the 80s right here.
This is the one right here I think I'm really thinking about.
All this is from the 80s right here. Every single shit on this wall that got anything to do with the hood, all this shit is from the 80s. Rest in peace, Ice B. Gonna show that shit. Rest in peace, Ice B. You know what I mean? Who else? Touche. Here we go. Bloods. That's what I'm saying. Old shit.
Oh shit.
We got Touche name up here too. You know what I mean? Baby Evil, Cap Gun, rest in peace. You know what I mean? Blood did that a long time ago before he died. All this shit. Ice B1, Blood, rest in peace. Jelly Rock, rest in peace.
Damn.
Dead. The rest of the homies right here. Look. Free the homies though. They did this when they was locked up.
Let's come back to this one. Let's not.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot going on here.
Oh yeah.
Before we,
all this shit old as fuck, man. Old
that
as
Mumbles
fuck.
looks new.
Mumbles? Nah, that's 07.
Oh, 2007.
Blood got 22 years. That's the homie, man. Free the homie, man. BT, man. END. 8-9 dudes. Neighborhood family. Blood got 160 years. With life. Free the homies.
Free the homies.
You know what I mean?
All right.
No name. Free the homie, no name too. They got blood up there. Blood got 22 years. Ragtime. Free Ragtime too. You know, homies got life. G homies. You know what I mean? Blood locked up. He got 160 years.
You hear them sounding out these prison sentences? Do you hear them sounding out these prison sentences? And you got these niggas putting on red like it's cute. Nah, man, this some real shit. You know, our people really, you know, get involved and really, you know, dedicate their lives to this bullshit, bro. For real. You know, thank God for this truth. Because that easily could have been a nigga like me, nigga like Papa in the chat. Easy. 160 years. You know, we got to praise the Most High for real, for his deliverance. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know, I ain't gonna lie to you.
Blood locked up. He got life. Snipes got life. You know what I mean? The other homies, they out here with us.
Live from New York.
You got a lot of homies locked up, man.
Yeah, and that's me right here. That's all us. There's a K mic.
So there's a big K mic all the way to infant.
Blood has got out. He did 24 years. He just got out just now. He in the halfway house though.
So which K mic are you?
I'm Tony K mic. This is my infant right here.
You
And the other one,
K-mic.
he little infant. The other infant on the bike was on the mini bike with the beard.
So there's 6 of them then, no?
It's a lot of us. It's 7 of us.
7?
That's his brother that got shot up, man, on 92nd, man, by the police. And then Snoop, let me show you this too. We got Snoop Dogg the rapper, but we always show this, and this shit is from the 80s, way before Snoop Dogg even had his name. And you see how it's spelled. With 2 G's. That's a G homie. And he had his name way before the rapper.
So how'd you pass the time when you was in prison?
Reading books. Reading books and working out.
Programming. Any good books you read?
Man, I read everything. Name it, I read it.
You probably
Yeah,
read the Art of War.
Read the Art of War. Read the Art of Seduction, 48 Laws of Power. Malcolm X autobiography. Message of a Black Man. Fucking black on black violence by fuck.
Wise with ass. It's real East Side shit. So I just wanted to show that. We're gonna talk about Babalouie. We're gonna talk about King Babalouie. We're gonna talk about the legend. The legend. The legend. Let's go.
I got to teach you something that I have not yet to learn myself. Because when I came up, my religion was my gang. Yes.
Yeah, this is the Gangland episode. This is Gorilla Gangland episode. And wait till y'all see when I really show y'all Gorilla Gangland, though. I'm going to really take y'all to some places. That's all I'm saying. Because I really be in them trenches, nigga, in real life.
That's what I'm saying. So kick my ass in. My religion was my gang, homie. You know what I'm saying? That's what I did. You know what I'm saying? I made foolish decisions based on my love for what I thought was love. The only love I knew.
What you got in here?
Gave me opportunities. Yeah.
You sing it to him.
To win this game a long time ago. Would you take care of your responsibility, though? My name is A.C. Moses, a.k.a. King Babalouie.
You the king, Babalouie.
Yeah, right. That's
You the king. Hey, C, what's happening, man?
Oh, man, just here, man. Vegas with you, Brother Kevin, man. I can't shuffle in my bed. No house shoes on. But I've been out here since 1957.
You grew up on 92nd and Compton Avenue, is that right?
That's the first place we moved to from Houston, Texas.
Big up KMV, Kev Mac Videos. Gorilla Gangland, trust me. It's finna get technical. It's finna get technical. See, if I call Papa, you ain't no telling where Papa can go, where you at. Ain't no telling who hood Papa gonna have you in. You be surprised with this one. This nigga right here will surprise you. I promise you. You know, cause he from that lane, but you know, he'll have you in place. You be like, wait a minute, hold on, nigga. Hold on, nigga, where you got me at, nigga? I'm telling you. Yeah, he, you know what I'm saying? He a dynamo, man, but he'll have you in some serious keyway communities. I promise you, Papa will. Serious. Shout out, Papa. You know, I'm telling you, I'm gonna have y'all all over the place. Call Papa, he take you somewhere. I can take you somewhere. I got my people there. I'll take y'all to some of these Mexican hoods too. I'll take you in that Vadio too, nigga. I'll take you in that East Los too, nigga. Gorilla Gangland, trust me.
Was that neighborhood considered to be part of the Watts community?
It was Watts.
Wow. You have a hell of a role called Crips in the beginning of your book. You knew Craig Crowder?
We all ran together. We started the Crips together.
Bulldog?
That's right. Second man in command.
James Compton?
Yes, sir. Raymond Washington introduced him to us in those days as his cousin.
Bulldog. Original East Side Bulldog. He was a part of something on that West Side. I ain't gonna spoil it. It's about AC. This about AC Babalouie. And we know the Mexicans too. We know the Messays too. Had you in that Vadio too. All over the place. And we go to take you to Chicago. Where y'all want me to go? Gorilla Gangland, man. Coming soon. Really in the streets. Let's go.
Big Chest Larry?
Big Chest Larry.
And really letting our light shine through the spirit of the Most High.
He turned Swan. I mean, him and Thomas Little, they about Swan. You know, they went on to be Swans. Start the Swans.
What Swans? Was it just?
So when he said they went on to start Swans, he's telling you it's another original Crip that eventually created another gang, and in that gang later joined what would be the Bloods. So Babalouie not alone in this phenomenon, but I would say that he's paramount, especially what he did to the Piru thing and orchestrating and formulating what would be the Blood Alliance.
Just Swans in the beginning, or was it 77th Street or that?
All that over there, that was 77 the first Swans, and they were, like I said, formerly known as Crips at the time. But that's what happened. Thomas Little had an older brother named Knight that was from the Avenues. And I don't think Knight appreciated Thomas looking up to Raymond Washington as a hardcore guy. And Thomas kind of outgrew that. You know what I'm saying? And he rebelled and started Swan in the Crip neighborhood.
Not just you, but a few other of Raymond's close friends turned Blood. What was that about?
Hold on, he getting ready to break it down. Watch the breakdown. Tanya Harden, she said her stomping grounds was Fremont High. That's ground zero for everything they getting ready to talk about on that east side. That goddamn Fremont.
Was it?
Well, let me explain something to you about that term when you say they turned Blood. They started their own hoods.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the neighborhoods and their own gangs, but they weren't Bloods.
I was using the term blood 71, 72. I went to Compton High School.
Hey, look. Babalouie about to get on Giacomo ass. Watch, he about to get on Giacomo ass. They didn't start the Bloods. They didn't become Bloods. They start their own hoods and gangs that then became Bloods. He about to get on Giacomo ass. Oh, you graduated from Locke? But shout out OG Giacomo at that P thing.
72, I got into it with Lee Thomas and Mad Dog Jackie Wilson because I was a blood. You know what I mean? 72.
What's a Blood 72?
I was.
You hear Babalouie? Hold up. What no Bloods in 72? What no Bloods in 72? What no Bloods in 72? See, this is what you call, just so everybody understands, because I got a whole, I spoke about this on the podcast the other day. Matter of fact, you know what? Let me show y'all something. Let me present something to y'all. Hold on. Stop screen. Present. Video file. Watch this. I got something for y'all. Watch this. Where is it at? I got this. I already made it into a reel, but I haven't put it out yet. Watch this. Just so y'all can understand. Apology. You have nomenclature. You have geography. There's a YouTuber out there, big up to the YouTuber, Big Blue Rag, right? He's from Doherty, California, a hood called Do-Rock, Crip, Do-Rock, Gangsta Crip, right? The Do-Rocks have two sides, the low end and the high end. That is geology. Because they're literally taking a look at the topography of this set that they claim, and one's on a high end, one's on a low end. So they have incorporated geology into their identity. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's heavy right there. Then you got west side and east side. So what is that? That's geography that we're talking about now, right? The sides of it. Okay, boom. Then you have people, now you have nomenclature. You have somebody from Hoover, they gonna say they Figaro or something. They're gonna put Figaro in their name. They might put Vermont in their name. Why they putting Vermont and Figaro in their name? Because these are the prominent streets that run through this community. So now you have that. That's all being incorporated into the nomenclature. Then what will be incorporated into the nomenclature is a sports team. So now we were the Astros. Now that's Astro Boy. That's Astro Girl, right? All of that is in there. You got the Rolling 40s, for example. You got Spody Face. Shout out my brother Spody Face. Spody, that's the thing that the Spody 40s, right? Then you might have somebody, Glove Face. From there, where does Glove Face come from? Because they wear the Milwaukee Brewers throwback hat that's got the glove on it. And the glove look like four fingers with the O in the palm. So that's the 4-0. Where is that nomenclature coming from? The sports team that's used to symbolize that. So when you deal with ancient cultures, you're gonna have nomenclature, you're gonna have geography, you're gonna have geology, and you're gonna have symbology, symbols that represent this particular group, this particular tribe, this particular clan. So what we're seeing here in the gang world is anthropology. That's all you're actually seeing is anthropology. My fault. So this is all the study of people, right? This gangology, it's anthropology. That's how I look at it, anthropologically. So when I say it's revisionist history, so this is what happens sometimes in people, right? Something will happen later, and then you'll apply it to the past, right? Even though it happened after the fact. For example, there's a street in LA. Let's show it. So you have President Barack Obama Boulevard, commonly known as Obama Boulevard, formerly Rodeo Road, not to be confused with Rodeo, Rodeo. Stretches 3.5 miles from Baldwin Hills past Baldwin Village, Crenshaw Manor, and Lamert Park. Now, when I used to be on this street, it was Rodeo. Right? I used to be on, you have a little business on the street, Tanya Hart and Shalom says. The water, appreciate you. Now it's Barack Obama Boulevard. I actually saw Obama in LA. Right? So, but if you call it Obama Boulevard, but you're talking about something that happened on that street when it was called Rodeo, that's a example of revisionist history. And revisionist history happens a lot in the gang world. So because they've been bloods for so long, oh, well, they fought me because I was a blood, but actually at that time, there wasn't no bloods. They didn't fight you because you was a blood at that time. But because they fought you and because you were anti-Crip, you naturally joined the alliance of what became the Bloods. A lot of OGs, certain big homies that get selective and they start having selective memory and they start trying to erase history. I'm going to show y'all some more of that. Watch this. Let's go back to street TV. This happens a lot with gangs. Is selectivity and revisionist history. And I've seen my own personal big homies do it. I've seen it. Watch this. What's her name? Cash Boy Tax. This is him right here. Watch this. Because he going to be honest right here. This brother right here.
I go by Cash Boy Tax. Tax Deuce to be exact. We're in Merino Valley right now on the east side, Webster Ave, bottom block.
Okay. And whose hood is this that we're in?
It's my hood. Sex Cash Mafia. I know Sex Cash Mafia.
Unknown Sex Cash Mafia.
Yeah.
That's the full name.
Yep, that's the full name.
Was that the name of it when you got put on?
No, it wasn't.
Okay. What was it when you got put on?
I got put on Sex Cash Murder Gang. We clicked up with the Unknown Mafias. We made Unknown Sex Cash Mafia.
Okay. So let's go back to your early days, man. What block did you grow up on?
Shit, really? I moved out here probably like 2000. In between like 5th and 6th grade. From what? Where was I before then? San Bernardino. I moved to Christian Court over there on the north, like Ironwood. So ride my bike over here, come fuck around. You know what I'm saying? But I grew up in this area. I lucky grew up on the north, but you feel me? This block right here is Wild Bang, the east side.
What was it like going to elementary school out here?
I didn't.
You didn't?
I didn't go to no elementary school. I moved in between elementary and middle school.
Oh, from
San Bernardino. I went to elementary school in Riverside in San Bernardino, and I came here in between the 5th and the 6th grade when you transition to middle school, and I went straight to Palm Middle School.
So how far is San Bernardino from to here?
20 minutes.
Oh, okay.
24 minutes.
And do you know why you relocated? What was the reason when your family moved?
Shit, them apartments was bullshit. Them apartments was bullshit. My mama didn't want to stay there no more. You know, I had family that stayed out here. My uncle stayed out here. My auntie stayed out here. So we moved out here with the rest of our family.
Okay. And then where you lived over there, did that become a hood today? Is it
Yeah, that's the hood I'm from. You feel me?
No, I'm talking about in San Bernardino.
Oh, I don't know if that actual spot is a hood, but it's ghetto to the motherfucker. Might as well be.
Oh, okay. So, how tall are you? And
in the mix, it was only a couple of us for sure.
And what do people always ask you about you being so tall? I'm playing sports, go the street route.
My mom didn't have the money to for the physical and the so none of that shit worked out. But it was like I wanted to play for somebody, you know what I'm saying? Because I had just came for me to play because they wanted me to do something better with my life. I just been bad like my whole life, oh God. Even at the church, I was like one of the baddest little kids. moms, grandma,
You can tell he was a badass little kid, motherfucker.
aunties. My dad wasn't really around like that.
As a nigga who was a badass kid, I know other badass kids. A nigga who was a badass kid and who got 5 badass kids.
You know what I'm saying? My uncle had a big influence on my life. You know what I'm saying?
So watch, he gonna talk about his uncle.
He gangbang. He from Paru, so it's like I used to look up to him.
Okay, so that's don't tell me. Smiley.
Yeah.
Smiley Rue.
Yeah, from 135th Street.
Okay, so how did
So his uncle was from 135 Paul Road.
you end up having a close relationship with your uncle Smiley Rue?
Shit, that was just like the only like real like male influence that was the closest to me. That's related to me. You know what I'm saying? My uncle bounced out. What? He got big chains on, big rings. He in a Capri, shit got beat in it. You know what I'm saying? As a kid, I'm growing up, I'm looking at this shit like, you know what I'm saying? He bounced out, what's happening, blood? I'm like, man, this shit crazy. Like I was just really influenced and
You see that? When you a kid, you see that, that's all you want to be. When you see that, that's like the apex of life.
it took a like.
And not only does it feel like it's the apex of life, but it's feasible. You see the path to go from you to that. It's real. It's not going pro in the NBA or the NFL. It's a much easier accomplishment. It's far more tangible and feasible to go that route. So you feel like you can get ghetto superstardom easier than you can get, you know, other forms of fame and fortune. It is what it is. That's how we think. This is exactly how I thought when I was a kid, when I seen it.
Like, you know, not a liking because that's my uncle, but I, you know what I'm saying? Like I was drawn to that. You know what I'm saying? It was intriguing to me because I was like,
it's intriguing.
It was different. My dad a blood too, though.
Oh, okay. What's you said you don't really have a relationship with your dad?
No, we cool now, but growing up, you know what I'm saying? Him and my mom had some differences. So shit, however that shit go, I don't know how it go.
We're gonna watch his videos. So watch this. This is part 2. Watch this.
When you go rogue, you don't.
I'm gonna show y'all how. See, he keeps it 100, and it's gonna expose the selectivity in the revisionist history that happens sometimes with some of this gang history.
Smiley Rue doing out here in Moreno Valley? He's from LA,
Compton,
right?
yeah, he from Compton. Shit, raising his family. He back and forth though. You know what I'm saying? So he out here doing this shit, getting money and shit. I got other older relatives that's out here from like Crenshaw Mafia, from Fruit Town. You know what I'm saying? That's his boys. You know, they get money out here. Everybody know about them. You know what I'm saying? And shit, he going back and forth to Compton and just doing his thing, raising.
So notice, he said he got his boys out there. 135, Crenshaw Mafia. What else he said?
From Fruit Town.
From the Frothers.
You know what I'm saying? That's his boys. You know, they get money out here. Everybody know about them. You know what I'm saying? And
so over there in that area, you had a lot of Damus getting their money, right? Watch this.
Shit, he going back and forth to Compton and just doing his thing, raising his kids and getting money.
Okay. Now, did he at some point see that you was gravitating towards the street life in Moreno Valley?
Yeah, he did.
What did he say?
It's crazy because when we first moved out here, my mama was finna move right here. And he told her, like, don't move my nephew to this street. You feel me? Like, don't move my nephew over there. And she didn't. But we moved up the street. So it's like I ended up around the corner, which was, the commute is very short.
Now, what do these buildings represent? What is this? Give us a little detail.
Shit, this the bottom block on the web. These the apartments. Shit, this the bottom block apartments. Like, you feel me? Niggas grew up over here. The park is right here. You know what I'm saying? Everything cracking at the park. After school, everybody reporting over here.
And this is...
There's done been shootouts over here. It's done been, but like my hood, we like to fight for fun. So we'll just be sitting here talking to you. Well, you fuck around, get fired up. Boop, ink. Like we still do that to this day. We still do that to this day.
Now, even though it's a dead end, I noticed the gate is open there, so anybody could walk through that park and just.
They're gonna have to come from Sunnymead. They're gonna have to come from Paris. I mean, they're gonna have to come from Paris. You feel me? They could walk through. It's a troop though.
Yeah, it's risky.
Yeah, it is for sure. And then it's like, you feel me? Like we always got visual of what's coming from the middle or the top of the block.
Do they ever lock the gate there?
So we could jump it. If you go around these apartments right here, we could jump right into the park. 03, 04. I was going to school with middle school, probably like 03, 04.
Tanya, I don't know.
I was going to school with a homie SIP, Pac-Man, little Pac-Man, his brothers and shit. So he like, yeah, like we finna be over there. You know, my brothers, they all from the hood. They used to bring me over here and shit. I'm like, oh, this shit crazy. They wanted to come back every time. Just to be able to go somewhere. You know what I'm saying? I'll tell my mom, like, oh, I'm finna get on my bike, go ride my bike to go kick with my friends. She's like, all right, we coming over here. Nigga was a badass little nigga. I'm stealing like Sparks, like little beers and shit as a kid.
Who remembers? Put one in the chat if you remember Sparks. That was like the little Energize. That was like a pre. Everybody remember Four Loko, but before Four Loko, it was Juice and Sparks. Who remember that? Put one in the chat if you remember Juice and Sparks and the evolution into Four Loko. Pop, smooth up. Y'all remember that? This before Four Loko. Juice is the first premium malt beverage in the 24-ounce can. It all started with Juice. It contained caffeine, taurine, ginseng, and certified colors. Right? Four Loko for sure, but this is even before the Four Loko. It was first Juice. Then came what? What is this? Independent. Y'all remember Pimp Juice? Pimp Juice was something too, though. But this was an energy drink, right? This wasn't liquor. What? Didn't Snoop had a drink? They had something called Pussy. I never seen Pussy. I was in the UK. Street King, that was 50's energy shot, which I used to fuck with those heavy. What was Snoop's? I remember the Crunk Juice. I never had that. This was just energy too. Lil Jon. I mean, we all know Mad Dog 2020. I ain't talking about the Mogan David. I ain't going even back that far. We ain't gonna talk about that or the Thunderbird, Thunder Chicken, none of that. Hold on, where is the one that Snoop had? Four Loko. Hell energy. Jesus Christ. I want to say Snoop had one. I'm probably tripping. Demon. But yeah, so Juice, all that. But you had something called Sparks. Watch Sparks. Was it a beer? Sparks, yep. That's it right there, boom. Sparks was an alcoholic beverage that debuted in the United States market in 2002. The original formulation contained caffeine, one of the first alcoholic beverages to do so, boom. That's all I wanted to show.
Donate plasma today and receive up to 700.
One out here in Moreno Valley. He's from
We like to fight for fun. So we'll 3 or 4. My friends like, all right, we coming over here.
What made you make the decision to be a part of this neighborhood set And was this the first thing you joined?
Yeah. But it was just like, my family is Bloods. So, you know, growing up and shit, you know what I'm saying? You're around your family and shit, all you know is blood shit, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, honestly, shit, I thought I was a Blood, but I wasn't.
See, so, and this is something that these guys in the IE went through, right? So, cause I'm at this time, I'm bouncing around. I'm in the IE barely. I always hated the IE, like for real. I always hated the IE. I always say I keeps it coastal. I like to be not too far from Interstate 5. I spent the majority of my life not too far from I-5. From living in Washington to moving to California, I always was not too far from Interstate 5, right? Once you start going inland toward Interstate 15, I don't feel that shit, right? The desert, I don't feel that shit. Anyway, so, but I'm around people that's around a lot of LA people, a lot of Dago people. They're going to the IE, they're moving to the IE, to Temecula, to Paris, to the Moreno Valley or Murder Valley, to the Riverside, San Bernardino, you know, Grand Junction, Banning, etc. Right? So a lot of these niggas that he's referring to during this time, they was like claiming to be Bloods. But they wasn't though, like he said. They liked it, the Bloods, and they had people that was Bloods, but they weren't from anywhere. You see what I'm saying? So they start creating and formulating these cliques. Right? Now just watch.
And when I really came to like realize like you're not from Compton, you know what I'm saying?
He had to realize that. So mind you, he's claiming Bompton 135 off his uncle, but he's not from Compton. Like bro said, niggas was like they was Blood sympathizers. So when you go through a logical epiphany of, okay, I'm not really from Compton, so what I'm gonna do, either I'm gonna go to Compton to get put on this Compton gang, but I don't live in Compton. I didn't go to school. I didn't grow up there. And this is the thing about it, like you'll be embraced by certain people, but certain people always gonna look down on you because you're not really from over there. But some people, a lot of people may embrace you if you a nigga and things like that. Like, but it's never telling how that's gonna go. So now what people will either do in this, in his position will, either they'll keep claiming to be from Compton and never get put on, or they'll go to Compton and they'll get put on, or they'll say, we just finna start our own blood gang right here. Or you'll do what they did and they said, well, we ain't finna be Crips or Bloods, we finna do our own thing. King George said, question, what does IE stand for? It stands for Inland Empire, right? Only guy I heard from IE is Loose Cannon that rode WAG 100 from London. So that's the Inland Empire. So that's the portion of Southern California that's inland, that's in the desert, right? So the majority of us live near the coastline. The Inland Empire is the large chunk of Southern California that is in the desert. Riverside, San Bernardino, Moreno Valley, Palm Springs, all that. That's the IE, the Inland Empire.
Nigga, you're from here. This is the. I thought I was a Blood, but I wasn't. And when I really came to like realize like you're not from Compton, you know what I'm saying? Nigga, you're from here. This is the hood that you live in. I went with that.
So this is the logical thing where you say, okay, I'm not going to claim to be from somewhere I'm not. I want to represent where I'm proud of the community that I come from and my friends right here. So I want to represent this. Now, this comes out in different ways. As somebody that is from another state that's not from California, but moved to California, I understand every level of this. Totally. Right? Because where I come from, we have Tacoma, Washington, Seattle, Washington, and also the highway, which runs in between Tacoma and Seattle, which is made up of multiple cities. But we call that the highway, right? So when you understand how that works, you had an influx of Crips from California came, right? Selling crack, expanding the crack trade in the mid 80s. So initially the California niggas came to my community, the Hilltop, the first historically black community in the entire Pacific Northwest, where I'm from. And you had the California niggas. So you had different groups of brothers on the Hilltop that was running with the California niggas. Different Crips, be it Hoovers, be it neighborhood 60s, shotguns, Watts, grape, all that was present there, right? On the Hilltop. So what you had was a movement in my community at some point to say, we're not going to keep answering to the California guys. We're going to rebel against that. We're going to stake claim to our own shit, but we still going to be Crips. So Hilltop Crip was started in my community, right? Now me, when I'm coming up, I'm hearing Hilltop, but I'm hearing Hoover. And I'm thinking it's all, I'm understanding that Hilltop represents my particular community, right? But when I'm hearing Hoover, I'm thinking it's all one thing up under the umbrella coming from the land from California when I'm a kid. And there's disputation because I've heard different things from different big homies on this. And I've seen big homies, like I've seen the stories change, and I've seen it my own self personally. Because y'all got to remember, I leave Washington in 2002 and moved to California right before I turned 12. So I'm hearing about the gangs from like when I turned 7. So I got 5 years of only knowing about gangs through what I'm experiencing in Tacoma on the Hilltop, right? Then I moved to California. So, you know, in second grade, I'm 7. We in Miss Drake's class, and we claiming Hilltop Crip. I'm with legendary people's kids from my hood who are in my class. So we just claiming at this point, right? Okay, we boom. A kid come to school saying he's a blood, right? He come to school saying he's a blood. We jump him. We like, all right, boom. We look at each other. We already know him. This is how we already operate, right? We jump him. So the teacher, Miss Drake, this second grade, Jefferson Elementary, Tacoma, Washington, she sent us to the bathroom. We used to be able to just go to the bathroom by ourselves, no supervision. So we move on the nigga, boom. Me, the homie, and the homegirl. We move on, cut, B cut, boom, boom. Ain't finna be no blood at this school, nigga, boom, 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 B cut, right? He out of school for a couple of days after we beat on him. Now, his big brother was like a crypto. His big brother was like, we used to ride the bus, 45 bus. And his big brother was like, my little brother tripping, nigga, this crip, nigga, bye. All right, cool. So he come back to school and he's like, nigga, I'm a Hilltop Hoover Crip. That was the first time I heard the word Hoover before. I'm like, pfft. But that shit stuck out to me. I'm like, Hoover, like, okay, boom. So mind you, I'm at school claiming with my friends who go to school. And, you know, both of their fathers are their cousins through their mothers, but both of their fathers are original Hilltop Crips, right? I ain't gonna put everybody's name out there because, you know, it's a funny business with one of them, so you did what it is. But, so I hear that Hoover thing, so I'm like, phew. Then on my block, I got some other niggas on my block this from the hill who, you know, like my best friends on the street, but they don't go to the same school as me. They was busting us all out to different schools. Where I'm going getting bust all the way to Jefferson, them niggas getting bust to Franklin. Then you got Stanley, and then you got, if you live on my block, you go to Bryant. But Bryant was such a bad school that if your parents really cared about you, they wouldn't let you go to Bryant. They was gonna send you to Franklin, or they was gonna send you Jefferson, Stanley, anywhere but Bryant. Anyway, so I'm getting bused to Jefferson, and they getting bused to Franklin. But boom, all of a sudden, so first it's Hoover, then it's West Side. So I'm hearing that boom, boom. So then boom, the movie South Central come out. I see South Central. I'm putting together, okay, this Hoover shit, this is that shit that come from LA. And I'm like, yeah, that's what. So boom, my older homegirl like, boom, you want to like basically is that what I want to be from? I'm like, yeah, but I'm thinking it's all the same thing with the Hilltop. I'm not realizing it's Hoover's on the Hilltop and its neighborhood's on the Hilltop, but Hilltop predominantly is its own thing. Hilltop Crip, it's its own thing. But again, there is some conflicting revisionist history on that, because I done had niggas told me niggas was all the homies on the hill was neighborhoods first. Then they rebelled against the 60s and all of them turned 7-4 and they Trey Hoover. And then they rebelled against that and became HTC, or they was at Hilltop. There's different reports on that I've heard from different homies. Older homies that was back there. I've heard different things. I can only chalk it up to, because y'all got to understand when you deal with the Hilltop go from like 6th to 25th. Some people even say go from 6th Ave to nigga goddamn the El Popos. That's far as hell. So what I truly believe is, through understanding and being a student of history, that there were different things happening in different little corners in sections of the turf before it all formulated into one thing, which was just HTC 23rd Street. And then all the other cliques that came up after that, right? But whatever. So I'm like, all right, boom, whatever. So when they telling me do this, you want to be from the set, it's to be from Hoover. It's to be, nigga, I'm hearing West Side, I'm hearing Hoover, I'm boom, like, okay, boom, right? So now, when I'm doing my shit, that's really, but I'm still proud of my community. So I'm still repping like both, right? But that's the actual path I took was to be from Hoover, right? So once I start getting older and I start realizing it's a separation, and this happened because there were times where niggas was saying things anonymously and then times where they weren't. And this same thing happens in Seattle with Holly Street, which is where, you know, Sergeant gets ties from. Y'all know Deacon, they from Holly. But the Hoovers that came to Holly in the 80s, but then you had Holly that was just Holly. So you got niggas that's just from Holly, then you got niggas that's Holly Hoover. You see what I'm saying? So it's the same phenomenon that happened. But what it all boils down to is people who want to make the decision of, am I going to rep some shit from California, or I'm going to rep some shit from where I'm from? And this is the same thing for the IE. Or they going to represent some LA shit, or they going to rep some shit from where they from? And to some niggas, some of us in our minds are, well, LA is where it started, so we supposed to rep what LA said. And some niggas are like, no, y'all niggas on LA dick. Fuck that. We repping our shit. You see what I'm saying? So there's the conflict there. And some people are just dick riders. And some people are looking at it like, well, that's where the soil will come from. So we want to be affiliated with where it come from. You see what I'm saying? So there's like the conflict that everybody go through. But I knew the path that I took. And so then I moved to California when I'm 12. So if you from Hilltop Crip, which is the predominant gang where I come from, there's certain rites of passages that you got to go through. Going to Jason Lee Middle School, which is now Hilltop Heritage Middle School. Changed the name because he's a racist. So they changed the Hilltop Heritage Middle School. You supposed to go to Jason Lee and do certain things. So now I'm in California, bouncing around LA, Orange County, San Diego County. So to me, I'm like, well, the Hilltop rites of passage I didn't go through. So it don't even make no sense. And then the path I took was really to be from Hoover anyway. So I'm always going to represent my community as this is where I come from. But as far as the gang, I'm from Hoover, right? Boom. So that was an epiphany that I had to have at a certain point in, you know, my life as a teenager. So I understand that when I say I can understand all of these epiphanies fully, but see, my whole point is Cash Boy Tax, he's just being honest about he was a wannabe blood or a blood sympathizer. And I don't say that like he was a mark or a buster. He just was in a place where the gang culture wasn't laid out and developed yet. So he had to be in his generation, or the niggas before him, they had to be the ones to actually develop it and set it in stone as this gonna be that. You see what I'm saying? So what some of us do is we kind of split the baby, right? So if y'all know a nigga Maxo Cream, right? Let's look up Maxo Cream real quick. So Maxo Cream is from Houston. He's a Fados Hoover, but you see he got this P hat on. Now I'm gonna show y'all another hat he be wearing. That F hat, right? Now in LA, that P hat and that F hat, you can associate both of them with the 40 Parkside 40s and just the F for the 40s, right? But he's wearing the F hat and the P hat in addition to the H hat for a reason, because he's from Forum Park. So you got Forum Park Crip, Murder Block Crip, Southwest Murder Block Crip, but they all identify themselves as Fados Hoovers. So they're all Fados Hoovers, but they have something that they represent that actually is indicative of the actual block, the place that they're from, because they're from Houston, Texas. They're not from California. They're not from 52nd and over. So they're representing Fados Hoover as that's what's number one, but they have something that indicates their hood, their turf specifically. So that's what a lot of us do who split the baby. So then me, boom, when I moved to San Diego County, I moved to North County, Vista, California, I start putting niggas on. We start having things to represent our blocks, our turf, but we still was pushing Hoover for A-Tray Hoover first. So that's splitting the baby. Right? So you could either say, I'm going to bang the LA gang, one, or we're going to create our own Crip and Blood gang, or we're going to create an independent gang, or we're going to bang this LA gang, but we're going to have something that we identify our own hood with as well. That's underneath, that's not equal to, next to, it's underneath that. So they got, that's why he wear the F or the P, that's for Forum Park. See what I'm saying? So this is what happens in the kind of like the development of gang history. And this is just a microcosm of what happens in cultures all the time. If you look at the culture of ancient Israel, when you look in the book of Judges, we were not united, we were divided. Then something comes together and a leader rises and unites all of us and we function as one, and then we split into the two kingdoms. It's the same thing. This happens amongst people all the time with the Sunni and Shia Muslim. All these things happen all the time. So what the phenomenon that we see in a gang world is observable on macro levels throughout all of history. But people got to make decisions. So you got to make a decision. I got to make a decision. I'm always going to be from the hill. That's the land of my nativity. But where I came to be as a man and as a gangster, it was under the umbrella of that first H that come off of South Central Los Angeles, period. So I'm going to represent it, be in alignment with that above all when it came to me being in the streets and into criminality. Of course, we're above that and way past that now. Right? Yeah, because most people view on the phone, Elijah. So once you understand most people view on the phone, it makes sense to curtail the broadcast to phone viewers. But shalom, right? So in understanding that, so this is just the process that the individuals go through in this. So these people, the sex cashes, and I always,
so what was Smiley
make this clear, as somebody coming up in the Southern California streets, I always heard about sex cash. I always heard about Murder Valley, always, especially in the time where he's talking about them early 2000s, because people always talk about the 80s and the 90s, but those early 2000s was just as treacherous. Them big, tall tee, big ass jean short era, that was just as treacherous and deadly as the 90s and 80s. That time where I'm talking about, where I came up at, right? So watch this.
And I was up there. If I probably, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of shit with my bike, go ride my bike to go kick with my shit would have been different for a lot of things that happened in my life.
Okay. So talk about what made you make the decision to be a part of this neighborhood set And was this the first thing you joined?
Yeah. But it was just like, my family is Bloods. So, you know, growing up and shit, you know what I'm saying? You're around your family and shit, all you know is blood shit, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, honestly, shit, I thought I was a Blood, but I wasn't. And when I really came to like...
He had to have that epiphany. I'm not a Blood. I didn't get put on no Blood gang. Now, if he wanted to, if they wanted to, they could have started a Blood gang. They had enough connections and ties to that, right? Yeah, things probably started to cool off around that time. Definitely shout out to Alex Alonso. Things probably started to cool off around that time. And that's the time where I came into they probably start cooling off, yeah, around that time. For sure. For sure.
Realize like you're not from Compton, you know what I'm saying? You're from here. This is the hood that you live in. I went with that.
Hey, at least
he went with that. And that's what a lot of people have done. That's what a lot of people have done. So these are just the paths that different people take just on the gang thing. Especially with the rate that black people have moved around LA. And I'm not LA, Southern California. A lot of people saw the crime and what happened and moved to the IE. It was less crime and it was a better cost of living. You can get more bang for your buck. So a lot of black people were drawn to the IE. But what happened is a lot of those same habits that were picked up in South Central and Compton and places like that were brought to the IE. So then newer hoods developed later. So what happens is where the gangs were getting developed in LA in the 70s, in the 80s, in the 90s, now they're in the 90s and in the 2000s having to do the same thing in the IE as they move into the IE. So they had to do their thing and develop their hood.
You're a man enough to admit I'm not from Compton.
Oh, no, for sure. Yeah, for sure. You know what I'm saying? But it's probably little pictures of me. You catch me throwing up a B or a P when I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get put on nothing. But it's like, all my friends is from here. I'm not finna be one of these niggas. It's so many niggas that's from out here that been Crip hoods, Blood hoods, but they went to elementary school out here, middle school out here, high school out here.
And that's a great point. Now, it'd be one thing if you came out in high school, because there was a lot of people that was already from where they from, and then in high school, maybe their family moved, or late in middle school, their family moved, but they already was from where they was from. But if you done lived your entire life in the IE, and you're banging the LA hood, people are going to look at you funny. Now, you could have right to do it, your people, and you go out there, you're a weekend warrior. There's a lot of hoods that only exist from weekend warriors now due to gentrification and things like that, where niggas really don't live nowhere near their hood and only go there on the weekends and do all they banging on the weekend. Literally, it's a lot of shit like that going on right now and been going on. But you know, people are going to look at you funny because they're going to look at you like, bro, you from the IE. But, hey, Brick Baby even said it within the last week or so. He like, it's real 60s from the IE. Don't get it twisted. I know my best friend told me he done ran into niggas from Rubidoux that's rolling 60s. But they banging rolling 60s, but they was in Rubidoux, which is right there next to Riverside, right? So, yeah, and it's a lot of the homies that niggas done got put on that's really from the IE, really from the Antelope Valley and shit like that, for sure. That happens. Don't get it twisted. That definitely happens. But niggas who from there, who embraced being from the IE and from these different places, they don't respect that shit. They don't respect it because they feel like you should be banging what we is. We all did our own shit out here. You see what I'm saying?
You know, they daddy might be from Compton or South Central, you know what I'm saying? They older relatives might be from wherever, but they chose to bang that. But nigga, you went to school out here, we in the same yearbook. I wasn't finna do that. I didn't want to be one of those niggas, you know what I'm saying?
It seems like, go ahead, what were you gonna say?
Nah, I was listening to you.
I was gonna ask, probably more than 90% of the people that grew up here like yourself has some sort of tie to LA, Compton, Watts, cars.
So having that tie is oftentimes what makes niggas bang shit and they sympathize with certain shit.
Motherfuckers was trying to get their kids away from the LA lifestyle, so they moved them out here to change it, but we still made this shit on our own. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of my uncle friends, they kids, they from
Lucy is from the IE.
They from West Side, or they from a different hood, and we get into it with each other. But my uncle and they peoples is real cool. So he like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? And it's causing friction, causing big friction.
Okay, so how do you personally feel about guys that grew up out here like you, elementary, middle school, high school, but they claim LA?
That shit bullshit. Like, to me, like, I'm 32 years old. So honestly, like, I don't shake no niggas' hands. I don't acknowledge them niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't acknowledge them niggas. It's bullshit to me. It's stupid.
And I mean, is it just a few people, or is it a lot of people that do that?
It's a lot of people that do that. It's a lot of people that do that. You know what I'm saying? So
it's a lot of people, but my thing is this though also. On the flip to that is, if you should always represent where you're from, for sure. But if you're gonna be in a gang and the gang represents a particular street, you have to represent that street. And where you from comes secondary to that. If you're gonna gangbang. Point blank period. Because again, like I just showed with Maxo Cream, them niggas from Houston, they repping Foreign Park, they repping Murder Block out there. Hey, good for them. But the one going to H, the H come first. On some street shit, on some gang bang shit. All right, as foolish as it is, that's the decision you made when you got put on this hood. Right? So, when I'm formulating shit, we got Melrose, nigga, we got Jurassic Park, we got these, different blocks and apartments that we claiming and shit like that. We represent that. But when niggas hit us up and bang on anything like that, nigga, we ain't saying none of that. We say that to identify for ourselves. We represent that for ourselves. But as far as, nigga, we represent one thing first. You see what I'm saying? That's how that go.
At the end of the day, it's like, I don't respect that. You went to elementary school out here, you went to middle school out here, high school out here, nigga, you from out here.
Now, do these guys ever get pressed sometimes when all y'all is huddling up and be like, man, I heard you claiming Compton, dude.
No.
Elementary together.
Nah, like, nigga might say something, but nigga ain't finna press no nigga. You could be who.
It's his life, let him do it. Ain't no need. But the problem with that is though, see that the LA mentality would be to press the nigga and turn the nigga. That's the mentality that the homies I have from LA put in my mind. Niggas is hanging around, press them, turn them. They need to be from the set. You see what I'm saying? So that's what sets LA apart from a lot of different places too, is the predatory, the sharkish nature of the whole thing. The whole element is it's sharkish. You see what I'm saying? So they taught us to be sharks. So I picked up that from being around LA homies and listening to LA homies. So, you're actually supposed to press a nigga who is around, who's not from what y'all from, and turn him into that. You supposed to. Me, I always believed in choice though. So I would kind of do it, but I would do it in a subtle way. I would be implanting subliminal messaging. I want to make it look so cool and good that all of a sudden you come to me one day and you tell me you want to get put on. See, so there's different ways to do it.
Whoever you want to be, I'm gonna be whoever I'm gonna be. But just like they know the truth, like I grew up with this nigga and this nigga really from out here and I'm doing this shit. And at the end of the day, they gotta sleep with themselves at night.
Yeah. So what was Smiley?
Nickel Boys is one of the most celebrated.
Ooh. So my fault. I say all that to say, certain homies, they got revisionist history and they leave certain transitional key parts out that are a little bit uncomfortable and inconvenient. So in this moment here, rest in peace again, King Babalouie AC Moses, he's correcting Giacomo that there was no Bloods in 1972. Bloods about 74, 75. And he was one of the, you know, the orchestrators of the entire Blood movement.
Blood 71, 72. I went to Compton High School in 72. I got into it with Lee Thomas and Matt Dog, Jackie Wilson, because I was a Blood. You know what I mean? 72.
What's a Blood 72?
I was a Blood 72.
It wasn't no Bloods in 72. It was not no Bloods in 72.
You feel what I'm saying?
Okay, what made them branch off of Raymond's gang?
I guess, you know, when you're 15, when you're 14 and 15, you know, 15 is like a turning point in your life. You start getting bigger, right?
Yeah.
And you start questioning
high school age
your ability. When you're 14 and Raymond's 16, he has that big brother mentality on you. You listen to what he's saying. He had that leadership mentality because he knew you were younger. And normally we feel inferior to guys that's older when you're a child. You know, but when you become a man, start getting, you know, growing up and developing, your mind develops. It's like we start questioning each other, how he talked to you. Man, Raymond talked to you like you're a bitch. You know what I mean? And if you was growing out of that bitch stage, so to speak, you would accept that as a challenge, you know, and show this little bit, you know what I'm saying, I ain't scared of Raymond. And a lot of people start getting older and getting taller, and they can see themselves surpassing, because Raymond stayed short and stocky, while everybody else was starting to elevate and get taller and bigger. You know, so it was like you get tired of being pushed around and told what to do, and you want your own power. You know, so there it is. You start rebelling against that.
So they start rebelling against that, and then they started formulating their own gangs, and these are the gangs that eventually became Bloods. They weren't initially Bloods, they eventually became Bloods. So he's just explaining how this all happened. This was a tight-knit group of adolescent young brothers on the east side of South Central. And, you know, Raymond got rejected from joining a pre-existing gang called the Avenues. So they formulated the Crips, and now the rest is history. But he's just giving you that history because he was right there. He is an original member. And again, rest in peace to this elder brother.
But you formally was respected.
No. Who was I beefing with then?
One at a time.
Who was I beefing with?
Go ahead.
Like you said, you were not a Blood. You were a Paru at the time. There was no Bloods yet.
Paru, bro. Without Blood.
Mind you, this is a monumental picture. We lost Barefoot Pookie last year. All right, original Crip, West Side Crip at least. You got Giacomo right here, Paru. You got what's my man? Why am I forgetting his name? He's from Pocket Hood, original Corner Pocket Compton Crip. What's the G homie name, Neff? How am I forgetting his name? Too pretty motherfucking Kenny, right? From Corner Pocket Compton Crip, now known as Pocket Hood Compton Crip. Of course, this Babalouie, original East Side Crip, original Pyro, orchestrated the Blood Alliance. And then here we have, what's my brother's name? Lavender. Jimmy Lavender, original 9 Deuce Bishop, which also joined the Blood Alliance in about 74, 75. Jimmy Lavender will tell you he was never a Blood. He was only ever a bishop. He started the bishops with his brother, with his family. And he was a bishop, and he never was a part of the joint of the Blood Alliance. So this is all important. It's important stuff.
Blood is not something we did on the streets. Blood is something that we had to do in prison. Okay.
In prison, in jail, in YTS, they formulated the Bloods. They did not do Bloods on the streets. He's giving you that whole breakdown.
One at a time.
Blood is something we had to do in prison.
Okay, listen.
So he's explaining they had to do it. Why did they have to do it? Because there were so many Crips and there was so much pressure from the Crips on the anti-Crip gangs that all the anti-Crip gangs had to formulate and join and come into one identity so they can actually stand against the Crips. They didn't divide it, they fought. They didn't stand a chance, separated. So they formulated into one thing, right? One thing.
Okay, I got one thing to say, my nigga. When you was in prison, niggas on the streets, man, at the same time. You know what I mean? While you locked up, shit popping off. You feel me? Shit popping off. Niggas just locked up right now, they don't know what's popping off on these streets, nigga. You know what I mean? This shit going down, nigga. When y'all might have started this shit in 72. Nigga, man, I was brimming with Lil Winston and blood. There was blood too.
Hey, let's see, man, please. I'm not arguing with you, man. Hey, in your mind, because we all bloods now.
He said, in your mind, because we're all bloods now. This is what I mean. This is he's correcting revisionist history.
Yeah, okay. Because it's been on your life. I agree with that in your mind. I was going to tell you how the down moves started, period. We had to start the down moves in order to walk the line. You know what I'm saying? Hey, listen.
You understand what he's saying.
I need to understand.
Barefoot Pookie, he's saying, come on, you understand what he's saying? Break it down. Break it down, AC.
See, I was just murder.
Let me say this.
The first blood, so-called blood, Ronnie Bunker. He killed
Ronnie Bunker.
Chocolate. Okay? When chocolate, I need to understand. See, I was just murder.
Let me say this.
The first blood, so-called blood, Ronnie Bunker. He killed Chocolate. Okay? When Chocolate got killed, he was so little, he couldn't walk on the main line. He had no homies there. He was at Athens Park.
Athens Park. So he's saying this is the first blood from Athens Park, which is the Athens Park Boys. Right.
Watch this. I'm a second person, got a case. Okay, say so. I go in there, I ain't got no homies in there.
He go in there, he don't got no, ain't no power rules in there.
You know what I'm saying? The other side, on the other side. Bullet's way over there. And Bulldog got Bulldog under his arm. My homie Bulldog. Under Bulldog's arm. Huh?
On Lewis Park?
No, power. What side?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Eddie Poster, EP sir. You know what I'm saying? I'm in there, everybody started getting me.
Everybody started getting him. Why? Because he is outnumbered.
Right? But Bulldog said, no. Let me talk to AC. They call here power. They didn't know you're a Crip. Right? When I tell Bulldog, I said, Bulldog, I'm not no Crip. I'm a power rule. And when you go home, you don't be no Crip either. Your name was Swaz now.
And that's why Bulldog, you know, you understand Bulldog being instrumental on that west side. I ain't gonna spoil what he did on that west side.
You see what I mean? Man, the only person there was Ray Boys, Arthur Purdle,
Ray Boys, that's Bounty Hunter Wise.
King Trash, Mario Gray.
Ray Boys is Bounty Hunter?
Yeah, what's up? I'll show you something. This is what we did. We used to watch other niggas like you, not like you, but you might be somebody that's being undercut. Everybody was in there saying cuz. I mean, cuz wasn't a bad word to say back then.
72 now.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad word to say.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But people went to jail, knowing they not from the Crip neighborhood, no, they don't like Crips, but they were saying cuz.
So he's explaining to you all the anti-Crip gangs, the gangs that was not Crips, but was beefing with the Crips, was so outnumbered and isolated in jail that they were faking like they were Crips, which was easy at the time because all the sets had not came out. So now you could just say, I'm a Crip from the east side, I'm a Crip from the west, because it was just Cripping was just so popular and it was just everywhere. So niggas was coming into the jail faking like they was Crips, even though they didn't like Crips, but they were so outnumbered and scared. So him and certain other men are seeing that. They're the same age as Tookie, or around the same age as Tookie, but Tookie is not an original. He's an original West Side. The guy sitting next to the guy that's talking, which is Barefoot Pookie, is an original West Side with Tookie. They come from the Al Capones and the Smacks. But when you talk about original Crip, the man talking, AC Mo, was an original Crip before Tookie was still Al Capone, living on 69th. See that? So This is where it comes. So people was false claiming Crip because Crip got so popular, everybody was just false claiming or lying and saying they was Crips to make it out of jail, even though they wasn't.
So the Crips adapted them. And I had to fake it with say cuz.
Yeah.
All you had to do was say cuz at that time, and they was just taking you. They was just accepting you.
You get away with it. So now while the Crips are jumping on this dude, because he go to Vanguard, or Centennial, hey, no, that's a Bible school. They whooping his ass.
So now he's explaining to you. So what the Crips is doing is they catching niggas by knowing what school they go to. This is how they were figuring it out.
And you know you was from the same hood, and you watched the woman's ass. You said, "Cuz it accepts you."
And you watching niggas get their ass whooped, right?
I'm not getting that shit, cuz. You see yourself, right? That was ass. I said, man, and so I told the Red Boys, I said, listen here, right with you now. Yeah. He watched that nigga get beat up. But guess what? I was still AC problem. See? But Bulldog loved me. You know, Bulldog was telling me,
listen to this.
back up off AC, man. That nigga know he a Crip. Fuck that shit. Man. He got my face talking to shit. And I tell Bulldog, I say, Bulldog, man, look, man, you know I love you, man. It really broke my heart when I see Sugar Man, right? Because I love, man, that's my boy. You know, I can go around somebody.
So he's talking about all the original Crips, and he's running into them, and they're stalling him out because they looking at him like he's a Crip still. But he done went and started something else, which is Pyro.
I said, and I love him, right? I be faking the fuck if I tell you I love him. Say I love him. Hey, man, I never turn my back on my. First of all, I'm loyal to my soil. You hear me? I'm not with the Pyros and all that shit because I'm a Benedict Arnold. I ain't with Captain. You know what I'm saying?
Did you know Salty before Salty was killed?
Yeah.
What type of guy was Salty?
A menace. That nigga would shoot anything. He would shoot you. That's one thing about him. He was a shooter. I mean, he's sneaky. He's a shooter.
Was he a leader? Did he start his own?
Put his way. He had a lot of followers.
Okay. Who was Pyru Street's first beef once the Pyru came into play?
That's what it's all about, see? And that's why I got so full-fledged up in Pyru, because I didn't really know that Samuel Simmons had started called reports with Zane and them. With Zane and Roy Tucker and Felton. I didn't know that. I was blind to that fact where after a situation happened with Figueroa boys, and I couldn't take it no more. Because I had to make a choice. Raymond or Richard's side. I wouldn't take either side.
So he's explaining to you what the whole catalyst to him starting Pyru was. So he was always a Crip, but he looked up to the original Figueroa boys. The Figueroa boys began to have conflict with the Crips. Now, this is pre the Hoover thing coming out and being on Figueroa, because you know that's who's associated with Figueroa now, right? This is before that. So you got the Figueroa boys and the Crips begin to have conflict, right? They're on that east side, creeping now into the west side, because Fig is, of course, on the west side. But that Figueroa boy turf was Fig into, you know, just like how the 9-4 Hoover's turf goes onto the east side, creeps into the east side. So that original Figueroa boy turf was like that. Now, he didn't want to choose sides. So what he did was, instead of choosing sides, he removed himself from the situation, let that play out, and went to his family's house in Compton. So through Compton, he got over there on Pyru Street and he created Pyru Street Boys, Pyru, etc. Right?
Because like I say, when you do something good for me, man, I'm not gonna turn on you. So I could turn on Richard, right? Mm-hmm. And damn, I could turn on Raymond, right? So I left that shit alone. And then when it happened, I got a call one day. The Crip said, "What up to?" This is what they tell me. I was Centennial. And jumped on everybody at Pyru Street. My brother Ralph got busted in the nose. That's my first cousin. My grew brother. Ralph Carter. Busted him in the nose with a hammer. So I go up there the next day. And I'm Centennial, and this school I'm going to lock at the time. I did school and go to Centennial. And LP joined me. And I'm telling you, show me where these Crip niggas at, right? He said, that one right there. That nigga's name was, the brother's name was Marshall Bennett. He ended up being captain, common Crip, CC, later. But he was the Carver Parks then. I said, man, come on, out for a bit. He ran, because he knew, he recognized Lowe for being the beat the head the day prior. And he started running, I started chasing after him. But then when I caught up to him, he stood in front of the bathroom where a gang of Crips was congregating there, right? And when we got there, that's where the Crips at. He said, he was there. I said, the niggas ain't no damn Crips. I said, I'm a Crip. Well, none of these niggas don't know me. I don't know.
So this is just showing you how, I mean, there's a wildfire spreading in LA right now. And you see how it's been jumping around. That's how the Crips spread in LA, the same way how them fires are spreading. So he goes and is in Compton for a few months, and this Crip shit done went everywhere. Now there's a whole bunch of people who are associated with it that he has zero familiarity with. That's how major that movement was. So now he's unfamiliar with these individuals, right? And this is how the alienation comes and, you know, things like that.
Man, what are these niggas, man? Well, that's like, unbeknownst to me, the word Crips. They were Carver Park Crips. It was Samuel Simmons and Zane.
That's what started in Compton, Carver Park. Before the Grandies came.
I never got together and started there. Well, Samuel Simmons, like I said, got kicked out of Fremont. He used that address over there, and they all linked up with the staff.
See that? So he went to Carver Park after he got kicked out of Fremont, started a Crip gang there in Carver Park. So that was the first, which is technically Willowbrook, that Compton, Willowbrook area. Then Compton Crip came out there in the Grandies.
I didn't know. Nonetheless, as I got closer to approaching them, my boy named Rico from Carver Park said, hey, man, look, man, you gonna back up my partner. So what the fuck is you? He said, Rico, Carver Park Crips. So nigga, fuck you, right?
And when they use the Crip, nigga, you gonna back my homeboy up. Realize that he backing his homeboy up against himself.
And so he said, partner, so what the fuck is you? He said, Rico, Carver Park Crips. So nigga, fuck you, right? And so he said, stay down here, we got out. That said, I got hit back in the head. And then the bam, both his came. I'm turning around, he did the bam, got hit again. They arrested me.
Yeah, that's Crippin' right there.
I done got rushed. I'm on the ground, balled up, they kicking me, stomping. That's how I wake up with heel marks all over my face and shit. You know what I'm saying? So I stole my H2's hat. You know what I'm saying? But we got still fighting people over there, right? So, man, survived that attack. And I was, man, so fuck that, man. We walked to Paru Street, right? We got all the elder brothers, everybody, right? And came back and we mopped everybody who remained up there. And I did school for like the next day to go back up there. What happened was, man, while me, Lowe, and Puddin' and Tam and Sugar Man was sitting standing in the Stadium Square, I looked up and see Raymond Washington. So I break away from him. Right?
So now he see his boy Raymond.
Oh, I go to Raymond Washington.
He see niggas he know.
That, right? He said, come on. He shook my hand, right? And he said, yeah, we finna fuck up some punks, man.
We finna fuck up some punks. He's the punk that's getting fucked up, the Pyrus.
I said, I'm down.
He said, I'm down.
They're up there, right? Cool, man, 'cause I need you anyway. I'm trying to tell them, right? They just stopped me, stop me there, right? And then somebody went in Raymond's ear, they said, yeah, man, that's one of them niggas right there. And so Raymond there, right? Raymond said, what? What is this nigga talking about, man? Oh, he's thinking. He said, you with them niggas. I said, oh, man, that's somebody bust my cousin nose, nigga, with a hammer. He's up, what? I said, this is my family, nigga. Oh man, we ain't get down like that. You know what I'm saying?
Now I want everybody to just think about this, right? Everybody just think about this for a second. And this is how crazy this shit is, right? It's fucking insane. This stuff that happened at a high school in 1970 motherfucking 2 is why you got Crips and Bloods all over the place today. That's fucking crazy when you think about it. It's mind-boggling when you think about it. This was just some high school shit that has transformed Black existence in this country and abroad, but especially this country. It's crazy, bro. These are the signs and the wonders that are talked about in Deuteronomy 28 that would be on us, that we would live in infamy. Remember Deuteronomy 28 says we would be in infamy? That these niggas could create something, little gangs in middle school and high school that would shape the world. How crazy is that, Atlanta? What's going on, King? But it's the power of our people. And if only we would harness and utilize our power for good as the chosen people of God. Only if we would do that. Let's get back to this. R.I.P. A.C. Moses.
So we kind of like negotiate this, have a negotiation, right? And that's what stopped.
So you and Raymond brokered the peace.
I'm not gonna go get him. He was gonna get what's he gonna do? Right?
So yeah.
That's why I left Richard Miles. I mean, that's why I left him over there. So I wouldn't have to feel guilty.
So obviously Raymond had a lot of respect for you.
We love, I said, man, I tell you, man, I was not gonna go get Raymond, I was gonna get Richard. I'm not going, I'm joining gonna get my blood family. So then, man, check out, we're not saying cuz no more. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna do it. Either you gonna say blood, the criminal that she was having cuz, she was having blood back to her.
What year was that?
74.
74. So that's where Bloods came out. 1974, they decided, starting with the boy from Athens he's talking about, and him and Bounty and Ray boys from Bounty and the Watts, etc. They say, now when the Crips say cuz, we gonna say blood. So they made the cuz and the blood thing by contradicting cuz with saying blood. He's giving you that all that this is an original Crip and Blood. He was on both sides. Original Crip with Raymond and formulated that blood thing.
That was just 74.
Yeah, but let me finish, bro. I want you to push this shit out right, man. I don't know like reputable like you to put that bullshit out. You're so reputable for that. You're somebody really well respected, man. You well respected. I'm just trying to tell you, we had to do this.
You had to do what you had to do.
Yeah,
I graduated in class of 74. I was a blood for 2 years before that.
He's saying he was already a blood. That's not true though. He wasn't a blood yet because there wasn't no blood yet.
You were considered a blood.
Now, yeah, you are.
You tell him you are a blood. You wasn't in 72 though. Now, like Soldier, y'all saying brothers in Vietnam was saying blood. They about to bring that up now. They about to bring that up now. Watch this. Just watch. He gonna break it down.
Okay, so all the time with Paru, 72, 73, 74, we didn't have no handle. We didn't have no blood. Had no blood.
We have to. We have to. You know why?
Blood card.
That's what forced us to do it. Because we didn't have no blood card. You know why we didn't have it? Because it wasn't like powerful than Paru.
They didn't have no blood card. Not that they couldn't have said blood to each other, but they weren't identified bloods as far as a gang. Watch.
We had no blood.
We have to. We have to. You know why?
Blood card.
That's what forced us to do it. Because we didn't have no blood card. You know why we didn't have it? Because it wasn't like powerful than Paru. You know what I'm saying? Like your hood, it was powerful than Bishop. You know what I'm saying? We were proud of our hoods. Too proud. Why we having blood so? I got my homies with me. You see what I'm saying? When you gonna tell you got a homie? In order for me to unite with you, I got you got set aside that mountain, and I got set aside the Paru with the blood. So they told you, they told me. And I gotta help you there. That's what we did. Why? Watch this. In 74.
So he said, again, watch what he said real close, because sometimes you might not can make out what he's saying. Watch this.
That mountain, and I got set aside the Paru with the blood. You see what I'm saying? When you gonna tell you got a homie? In order for me to unite with you, Because it wasn't nobody powerful than Pyru.
He said there was nothing more powerful than Pyru.
You said like your hood, and I'm powerful than Bishop.
So he pointed Jimmy Lavender. He said, when you're in your hood, there's nobody more powerful than Bishop. So in their hood, there's nobody more powerful than Pyru. In the Bishop hood, there's nobody more powerful than Bishop. But watch.
You know what I'm saying? We were proud of our hoods.
We were proud of our hoods.
Too proud.
Too proud.
What do we have to be bloods for?
What do we have to be bloods for? At that point,
I got my homies with me.
I got my homies with me.
You see what I'm saying? When you go to jail, you got no homies.
But when you go to jail, you don't got no homies. So that's why they created blood in jail, because they didn't have any homies in jail. So that was a unifying factor with all the anti-Crip gangs to be bloods, 1974.
In order for me to unite with you, I got you got set aside the mountain, and I got set aside the Pyru to be blood.
So we were setting aside all that and putting the beef first because we were outnumbered in jail in YTS, which was, a juvenile program there in Southern California, in California, period.
So they told you, they like them on me, and I gotta help you there.
Now I gotta help you if you say blood.
That's what we did. Why?
I can't just let the Crips beat you up because that's what was happening. Niggas was getting victimized in that jail.
Hey, watch this. In 74. That's what we did, man. And watch this. When the Crips called us, was that the cuz? We started saying blood. They would, the other Crips said, watch this. What's up, cuz? Saying blood. You know, now they proving something that we started some shit up in there. Right? And then those same niggas saying it and saying this nigga together. So now I go along with Ray Boys, Arthur Hurdle.
Ray Boys, Bounty Hunter Watts, Arthur, I believe who he was talking about from Mathis Park.
Now Bo Nation come out hiding and see it online. He come walking with us. It made more people step up to the plate. You know what I'm saying? Now everybody want to be a blood now. You said we all together now. Because when they step out the unit, they'll get boom. And brothers, I had that Billy Oliver from Rim. That's one of the hardest Rim I know.
What's his name?
Billy Oscar Oliver, rest in peace. That nigga gets his ass whooped every day.
Still claiming.
To come out to Babalouie and the homies. He had to walk from the third unit. You're not gonna walk the 3 unit and come out with the 1 unit without passing over the Crips. Right? So I went back home, they beat his ass. And that thing should be like this. But he's still with the homies. So we had him pulled over with us. You see what I'm saying? And so when the police started dressing, and the new homies come through, hey, come in. So I'm in for murder, man. So they really want me. You see? When the homies come in, you come in for orientation, YT, well, hey, I got a homie up there, man. Can you get it? And they ask you, hey, homie, who you run with? The Power Rules or the Crips? Because they thought everybody that was with me was a Power Rule.
So now he's talking about the police's role in the formulation of the Crips and the Bloods. So now they asking, when you come in, are you a Power Rule or a Crip? Right? But of course, everybody wasn't a Power Rule, and everybody wasn't familiar with this new blood alliance, this blood card that they have formulated. So watch this.
Right? Until I'm a Power Rule, bounty hunter.
He said, I ain't no Power Rule, I'm a bounty hunter. What they call a bountaroo.
You see, I'm a prayer. But I will go with the ad though. So once the police figured it out, and we was all saying blood, it changed that question. Who you running with? The Bloods or the Crips?
So the police is asking you when you come in, who you running with, the Bloods or the Crips? Are you saying you Blood? They putting you in to be housed with the Bloods so you weren't getting beat down by the Crips?
Enabled us. You see what I'm saying? Now they understand what the war's about. See, police, they always organize shit where they get to understand what's going on.
They did that in the reception.
You said you just don't do something.
Again, big up Kev Mac Video for this amazing content.
And claim it and don't know why you're doing it. There was no need for us to be Bloods. When you're in the mutual neighborhood, on the mutual turf, that's the turf anybody come fuck with you at. That's where you feel most powerful at, on your turf. You know what I'm saying? There's no need to be no Bloods. But in jail, you got to be something.
So all the killing in Compton in 1973 was Pyru versus Crip?
No, that's all it was. That's it. We want no blood. How the hell blood about it? That's the fuck with that. That's fuck with that blood.
Put the eye ties up from the Sentinel, man. You're gonna see blood.
I promise God,
you're gonna see blood.
And you know,
We can sing, nigga. We can't talk at the same time. No, man.
But he need to let Giacomo talk.
Hello. If you get the signal paper right now, man, you go and put the archives up for the signal 72 and 73, you gonna see the word blood mentioned in the rivalries between Babalouie, Crip, Bloods and Crips. You're gonna see blood in the archives, man.
Are you sure, or that's what you think you remember?
Now, Kev Mack, he's the nigga that goes and gets them newspapers.
It was written after.
No, let me ask you. Are you sure, or you just
I'm
thinking that's
pretty much sure, man.
Pretty sure.
I know, man. Look.
Watch this. Watch what he say. Watch what he say. Remember that Vietnam comment. Watch what he say.
Okay, he's too reverend, man. I like this. Okay. I like it.
That's all good.
That's my dude right there. This is my dude. We some drag together. See, we supposed to be on the same page. I'm not gonna never get on page with my
That's why
homie.
y'all talking now.
No. We should have to do this. He's not gonna lie to his birthday. I'm not a liar.
A liar?
I'm not gonna say, well, now you call me one. I'm gonna say you call me. I'm gonna say, he know I love him naturally. All right? I'm not gonna rebel against him. He tells me, listen. I'm gonna set aside everything I think I know and listen. Because the only person that's a learned man, he's a dead man. You can't teach a learned man, that's because he's dead. So you don't know how to put the ED at the end of your sentence. Being learned. Yes, so you learn it every day. No matter how old you get.
This is. I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. This was a hell of a brother right here. This was a hell of a child of God right here. AC Moses, King Babalouie, man. Special. Really enjoyed, watching his content, man. And the Most High really allowed him to live a full life as an original. You got original gangsters that's really dying of natural causes now. And that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing, really.
And since I was think and taking some more shit. Because I'm not gonna tell you nothing. I want you to win. When I say this about religion, man, I don't play with it.
Well, let me say this here. Now, I've been knowing AC since I was 14 years old. That's 1971. That's Piru. I'm a West Side Crip. I've been knowing Lavers since I was 12, 13. I've been hearing about them, their reputation, And your hood, I got cousins from your hood. You know what I'm saying? So I know, we all family, But during the civil rights movement in the early, mid-60s, young blood and all that, you know what I'm saying? We came out in 71. That's the first thing I know what to call, cuz, I have never, I've been to juvenile halls, YTS, pens and everything. I have never heard blood until.
Man, you know what? I'm not cutting you off, nigga, but I remember, man, when I was a kid, I remember my daddy calling me a blood. You know what I'm saying? So if my daddy called me a blood, I'm a blood when my daddy called me one.
See, and that's the whole point. See, he's now everything's starting to get clear. Niggas was saying blood, but it didn't have any gang meaning behind it. There was no gang meaning behind it. They made a gang meaning behind blood in 1974 on YTS. That's what Babalouie is explaining. Definitely R.I.P. Barefoot Pookie, the legend, original guardian of payback.
You know what I mean?
That's blood another way. That's blood another
young blood, that's blood.
That's blood.
Brothership.
That's black blood.
But what
I'm going to say Crips blood too then.
Can I finish? When I finish.
Said Crips is bloods too then.
We all blood. Young blood, that's our nature. Okay, but now here's what we're saying is this here.
Because we're related. We share mutual blood. We're the same people. All right? Uno gente.
Now I know I've been in and out of jailhouse, juvenile halls, YTS, all that. I know Babalouie. I know Babalouie when he was crippling, when he turned Piru and all that. You know what I'm saying? But until the date and he named all the bloods, I was in jail 73, 72, 74. And I remember when Bloods came out and it was doing the same transaction. But if you read something in the Sentinels about some Bloods, you thought you might have read something. Yeah, but it wasn't in that year. It might have been they used that to affiliate with that year. And I ain't got nothing against the word blood or nothing, because we all brothers.
Right.
We're all brothers. You know what I'm saying? You extra.
That's damn right. That's damn right.
My brother, you closer to me than most Crips are. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is this here. The reason why the Bloods had to be labeled because there was too many Crips in there. I went to the transition with him. I was in juvenile all the way from the early 72 all the way to 74. Stuff, YTS and all that stuff. So I know what he's saying. You know.
So I got a lot of homies that was rebelling to say what they do. But nothing support the fact, man. I'm telling you, man. If it don't be for the homies, see what I'm calling about it, man. The homies didn't come up, be my homies first. They from Bakersfield and San Diego. Had my back first. Pasadena.
This is a personal issue for you.
Yeah, it's real personal. It hurts me. And I'm trying to tell you, man. You see, I could have got been killed this motherfucker. Seriously. I stayed up. Because first of all, you don't be a Crip. And then turn around and go against them in the jail. That's what you don't do. If you got the heart to do it, that's a job, man. Every day I gotta come out that job. You know what I'm saying? I gotta pick my lunch with me every day. Just walk the line, homie. Cause I think somebody gotta do it. I was picking fights with them to keep them back up. You know, to keep them back up me. Sugar Man, the real Crips, and then was laughing at the Crips. Cause most of the niggas was jailhouse Crips. Jordan when they got in there, right? Scared of the Crips, and they joined inside the Crips. So them niggas I respect them no way.
Yeah, too.
You see what I'm saying? And they would never rush me. They would never rush me. I was a big old nigga too now. Don't get twisted. I can fight too. But Sugar Man, all the original Crips on the cast, they look at me and laugh. But they would rush me. Sugar Man was something. That was something. So that's what I get. I'm in a power. Right?
You represented yours.
Huh?
You represented.
I represent you hard. I represent the fullest. Right? But I'm gonna tell you this, man. Everybody was blood. That's the case. Right? But what we did, we snatched that word.
The unite.
Just like the Crips had already snatched cuz. These words, blood and cuz, they were just words that was hip and cool in the 60s amongst black people around the time of Vietnam to identify a commonality of our ethnic descent. That's what that was about.
Yeah, we snatched it to where it meant us only. Okay? The people that called you blood, but so what? We snatched it where it meant us only. We not Crips, in other words. We said we not Crips, we bloods. Right? That been took a whole different meaning, man. Right? It's to the point where they said, don't call me blood, don't call me cuz. You see? Right? I said, man, we start being aggressive in there.
When you was at
74.
Okay. You want to get the point straight.
Yeah.
74. See, we start doing that shit, man. Then we start getting aggressive. Hey. We start getting our own little work job in there, our own little place, but we can feel like we had no control over. But nobody check it out, that place. You know, we start number blood in there, right? If you come to the rag hanging out, you know, that's what we did. And then they start having meetings. And then Jamel, Herc, Max Thomas, Max Thomas, and Upshaw called me with me, LB, Mario, and Ray. And man, tell you, man, you jumping on the homies coming to the shop, man. What's up? It's just like that. Upshaw? Yeah, Upshaw. Not about it.
So look, wasn't no 1 liter of bloods?
Huh?
Wasn't no 1 liter of blood?
No, I mean, I aspired blood. I started, but I wouldn't take it over or anything. But yeah, it was like I had, you know, the reins.
Initiated.
Because I decided.
He's the orchestrator.
I shit. You know what I'm saying? But no, ain't no one you gonna take over nobody's hood. Ain't nobody's hood unless you run them. Right? So, especially if you got 10 bounty hunters and 2 by rules. We ain't run nobody's hood. But we omit the fact that we give them gangs. Right? We omit the dogs. So, and it kept us stronger as bloods. You see what I'm saying?
It was a protocol.
Yeah, it's
So basically what he's saying is, if you was from one of them gangs, essentially you were a blood when you went into jail, like it was a jail gang. That's why jail gangs to this day are far more important amongst the bloods than the Crips. even on the East Coast, when they formulated that blood thing there in New York, it came from the jail. That blood shit is some real, y'all gotta understand, people say Crips and Bloods, but the culture and the nature of blooding is different. Cripping is a street thing. Bloods come from jail. It's different.
We did not say apple pie. Because you know what happened from the moment your hood get deep.
Everybody said true.
Yeah, it started saying true. So we omitted it, right? Blood became stronger than our hood. You know what I'm saying? Blood became in the jail. Blood was our neighborhood. You see what I'm saying?
Let me ask you, you was in YTS with Nasty Ed from England.
Yeah, that's when he came in. Nasty.
Do you believe Nasty Ed paroling has something to do with bringing blood to the Inglewood family?
That's what happens. That's exactly what happened. Nasty Ed got out. Joey Tolbert got out. You know what I'm saying? We all know we is now. Joey Tolbert got out of YTS with the bishops. Okay? Nasty Ed got out of the family. Jonathan George got out in San Diego.
So all them niggas start becoming Bloods.
What year was that?
Whenever they paroled. See, it started 74, but people paroled afterwards. But when people went home, you know, LB, when I got out, you know what was going on. Bloods. You see what I'm saying? See, Tam just got killed. The motherfucker got out. You see what I'm saying? Tam got killed. The motherfucker got out. I was talking to him. He gave me that. I was gonna see Tam no way when I got out. Because Tam had to turn himself in. It was county time. I was gonna see him no way. But it hurt me. He didn't make it. Because that's an Alvin trans man. Okay?
Just died, you know that.
Huh?
I know he just died.
No!
Yes.
I'm helping make us become endangered species. Our people. See? And that's wrong. Way wrong. But now, see, you got the courage to do all this shit, this dumb shit, and represent. Well, let's represent this change together here. I love you. I love you take my people off will kill for you. I love you now to live for you. Won't you live for me now? We live for each other.
True that.
See? It's a better way that we got older, we got wiser. There's no competition amongst us. I'm not smarter than you. Ain't no big idea to you. Ain't no big idea to you here. We all we men coming together.
We're survivors, man.
Hey, watch this.
We're survivors.
I see a guy right there poking. Tears coming out my eyes. Because damn, we made it, man.
Made it, nigga. Got grandkids.
We made it, man.
Got grandkids.
You? I was my brother here. We made it, man. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't make it, man.
We made it.
Hey, you know somebody tell me sometimes?
All that.
You know what shocks me sometimes?
I got shot 7 times.
People tell me, you know, Babalouie, I thought you was dead. You know how bad it feels. But you
oh shit, man! I go to.
I'm saying,
be like, well, when you not bad to get out. Hey, get out of what, motherfucker? Yeah.
Hey, you how bad it feel.
Shit.
You know how bad it feel.
Yeah.
I did that in Texas. I read to the Clarence Braggs. He old Brim too. Clarence Braggs. I ran to him in a central unit in Texas. I was doing time. He said, "Wow, look." He said, "You got killed."
Oh yeah, we all been dead.
I swear to God. You know, that's eerie, man. That's eerie feeling. The nigga I discussed my death, my funeral, and everything.
Yeah.
But then they go, if those who despise, you know what I'm saying, others that just want to wash my in the head, he did. He ain't shit nothing to me no way. I never did like that. You know how we doing it now.
Yeah, man, that's just heavy. Big up to Kev Mack for putting that tribute together, but that was just heavy. Yeah, that's Jimmy Lavender there in the video, but he was explaining everything, you know, how the whole thing really formulated with this blood thing. Yeah, man. That's where Jack from. He from the Nellis. You know. Oh man. This another one too. We gotta go right here. This one from Street TV. And he gonna talk about the origin of the Crips real quick.
With so many
MC Moses, AKA King Babalouie. One gang in particular that I grew in the midst of was the Avenues. You know, they were like in junior high school at Charles Drew Junior High School.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm not a Munson fan. There's a reason for that I ain't gonna talk about.
And families was claiming to be Avenues. If you had a lot of brothers and sisters, you more or less was like had a little safeguard with you. But me, like I said, I was like a big kid, and I was a loner when I was going to school. My sister was my big brother at that time, and even then, she knew about the Avenues. Well, everybody would mention Craig Munson, you know, Donnie Boy, Raymond Burns, you know, Boo, Victor Adams.
Neff, you know what I'm talking about.
You know, Fred Stacy, you know, the Carters, Kenny Carter, you know what I mean? Shoot, and all the Munson brothers, you know what I mean? It was a lot, Dot, you know, Butcher Boy, you know, there was a lot of them.
Now, did they have a particular neighborhood, a turf?
Oh yeah, basically around, like on the Firestone area, and go all the way back to 89th and Central.
And also you have to understand this has a direct relation also to the now very large Mexican gang called Avenues. Direct relation. And Craig Munson breaks it down in one of his interviews.
On back up towards Firestone, Manchester, where Firestone and Manchester break off, and all around like in the 70s, like 79, Nadu, you go around there, that's all the east side area, okay? And then you had like Hooper Street, where the Munsons and you know, all them resided at. When I went to 77th Broadway, now, I encountered an affiliation and an introduction to the Miles family. But now Richard Miles was the one, and more in my age group, that I
Figueroa boys
began associating with. And I got real tight with him because it seemed like everybody felt intimidated by Richard. He was a tall, skinny dude, right? But his eyes and the way he carried himself, it let you know that he cut your throat. He was no joke. He hurt you.
Now, was Richard Miles a little bit older than you?
We were around about the same age. Richard might have been a few months older than me.
But he was already like established in that neighborhood.
Yeah, he was a leader. But the thing is that he had brothers like Juggy, that's older than him, and then Fee-Boy, older than Juggy. Then he had another brother that Bebe. You know, he was like you know, cross-dresser, but the bad boy was no joke. He was a gangster.
Wait, he was a what?
He was cross-dresser, but he was a gangster too.
So you had guys cross-dressing in the 60s?
Bad Bebe was a cross-dresser, but he was no joke. I mean, nobody would mess with Bebe either. You know what I'm saying? These are Miles I'm talking about. They were just a big family, and everybody from that immediate neighborhood respected them. And they were like the controllers, right? And then later, they developed like 77th Street Boys, but that didn't happen until after Bethune opened up, because I know for a fact when I was with the Miles, before Bethune Junior High School opened up, I had to go to John Muir. And man, that was a long ass walk. From 77th to Broadway, we had to walk to 59th to Vermont. From 77th to Broadway. And man, I was just happy that when I did walk, I walked with Richard and the Miles.
There was not a label that the Miles, that 77th Street mob or 77th Street Boys wasn't established yet when you guys started to go to.
Well, maybe in our own little neighborhood, everybody recognized 77th Street because we had Moon, Dirty Bomb, Skipper, KK, and Donut, and all them people over there, right? We had all them folks, man, but Hannibal, you know, Lil Charles, June, all them cats. But I guess we recognized of 77th Street. Yeah, and if you want to, I'm sure that people would say it's 77th Street Boys. You know what I mean?
Now, why did
we were like to see the graffiti. Wasn't like advocating that on the walls and writing this stuff all on 77th Street Boys mob. They wasn't like doing that kind of stuff.
Okay, so when you checked into John Muir, in 1968, you had to do this long walk every morning. Every
Edmund Jones, Ellis Flagg had a fight. They were the Broadways on the Broadway side. On the other side, Estrella and all that, they hadn't yet became brims, but there's a verge of doing that back then. 68, after 69, they really became brims. After
because the brims was already out.
Reese, which is now Bethune.
Hey guys, did you know some drivers
had got established? Then our school district, after reset, became Bethune, and that became our district. In our district, it kind of put a stop that long ass walk, and we can walk right down 69th and Broadway to Bethune Junior High School. Now, a lot of people that was on the John Muir side continue to go to John Muir, right?
Most of the Broadways, right?
No, most of the brims. The brims still stay at John Muir. Some came over to Bethune. I started recognizing my people that walk the same way with me to the house when I go home. And I had a boy that was on the east side with me. I used to mess with him named Don Juan. His name was, that's what he started calling himself over there, but his name was Leonard Maxey. Or Donnie Maxey. Leonard Donnie Maxey, right? And he's called himself Don Juan. But he was a pretty boy. And see, back at another thing at Bethune, if you was a pretty boy with curly hair and you got a big natural, you had clout, because nobody messed with you, right? Because you get all the girls. Everybody want to be with the guy to get all the girls. So me, him, and another little pretty boy named Ronnie Walker. I thought everybody did, right? It was the Miles family was so potent, they didn't give a damn about no game, right? And to talk about someone else greater than them was more like being disrespectful. He was wannabe. But see, Raymond wasn't no punk. And Raymond Washington, and just how much I could beat him. I wasn't exposed a thing, right? Because I grew up over there, and I knew the situation between Munson and Raymond Washington, and just how much clout he had.
So at the time, Raymond wanted to be in avenues.
He was wannabe. But see, Raymond wasn't no punk. He wasn't no punk. But to Munson, he was a punk kid. Munson was a big guy. And Raymond, he admired them cats, right? Just like I did. But see, I just was a little closer to them than he was. Because I grew up with them. You know, they kind of like raised me.
So he's explaining that you got Raymond, and Raymond was alienated from the Munsons, who he looked up, but he looked up to the Munsons, and he just wanted to be down with the Munsons. But he didn't have a way in. But Babalouie, he knew the Munsons, and he had a way in, and he looked up to him too. Now watch this. All this is key, and this is just adolescence in Black America, Brown America. It's just all the similar story. It's just what they happen to do spread like wildfire throughout the earth.
You know what I'm saying?
So when Raymond introduced himself as an avenue and you knew immediately it wasn't the case, how did you feel about that?
So he was false claiming avenue.
Say nothing.
He ain't say nothing.
I seen the effect it had on people on this side of town, and I seen them getting strengthened and with high hopes and desires.
So I want y'all to understand. So we talked earlier, we showed the brother Cash Boy Tex about the IE Sex Cash Mafia gang. And what he's explaining is that Raymond Washington is the original false claimer, and no disrespect on the legacy of Raymond Washington. But Raymond Washington was an aspiring, and this is what people do, and it's not a false claimer in even the most negative sense, but we all do this. We usually claim gangs before we actually become initiated and become members of the gangs. So he was claiming, and he was trying to utilize that on people who didn't know any better and weren't in the inner circles. And he utilized that to intimidate people and to add credibility and clout to himself. through saying he was an Avenue because of the reputation the Avenues had, but he just was an aspirant, a wannabe. He was hoping one day he could be an Avenue. He was trying to manifest it, but he never did. So Raymond started, so there's no shame in that stage, because that's just a part of identity, and he was a young man in middle school during these times. So I mean, it's not like he was grown doing it, but you know, he was he had the aspirations. But a lot of people start off in that same position. So if there's no shame in Raymond doing it, there's no shame in anybody else as well. That's just a part of their story, right?
To get closer to Raymond, so they can become they can be inducted into the same gang with Raymond. You see? And that was the hopes. We know we weren't old enough to be actual, say, Avenues, but you know what I'm saying? We could be the younger versions, the babies. Right? And if we could get there with them, nobody would mess with as far as we start, because we didn't think.
So they said, we're going to claim it. We're going to start a baby version of the Avenues, and then we're going to bring it to the Avenues, and hopefully we'll be accepted into the Avenues.
We didn't look higher than nobody. We didn't think no gang was better than the Avenues.
Hey, sorry for interrupting.
All you cats had aspirations to become Avenues in 1969.
Yeah.
And who were the original guys that wanted to be Avenues, including you?
Shit. I ain't gonna lie to you. In my heart, I always was one. Because I grew up in the neighborhood.
You consider yourself a baby Avenue.
They adopted me. If you mess with me, they'll get you. If a guy was to mess with me, and I came around quiet, they asked me what's wrong with you, AC. So he jumped on me. They would go get him. That's how tight. That's how I was with them.
So let's go to. There's a dance at Fremont in '69 where the Avenues are at, and you guys get turned down.
That was crazy. Finally, man, it had to happen, man. And shit, we was ready, man. We was down for the man. We knew we was being inducted to the Avenues, baby boys, man. And shit, Raymond Burns was that came up and asked us who all these little fool ass niggas you got with you. Raymond? Call Raymond. Right? I say this is fellas, man. Because you know back then, we weren't saying homie. You know what I'm saying? Homies, that came out way a little later. You know, the homeboy and all that shit. These the fellas, man. Who's the fellas? Baby Avenue. You know, baby, what you mean, Baby Avenue? Nigga better get them niggas out of here. You know what I'm saying? Baby Avenue, they start joking and calling each other. Hey, some other guy, look. They say Baby Avenue, right? Oh, man, we start tucking our tails and shit because they could have mopped us up. I don't think none of us would have fought them back.
They said, stop claiming Avenues. Y'all ain't Avenues.
Man, they should know in a real cool ass way, actually in a gangster way. If I hear it come out y'all mouth again, you hear me? I'm gonna fix it where you can't see your mouth.
Ooh-wee. So this is what happened. This is how the Crips came to be. They wanted to be Avenues. They looked up to the Avenues. The Avenues looked at them as a joke. So they started something else. And now look at the world. Ain't that something? This happened in 1960 goddamn 9. See, now let's compare and contrast. The Avenues weren't really accepting anybody. It was hard to become members. But when we hear earlier about the Crips was letting everybody in. So you see how effective that is, right? If you're looking to just get quantity over quality, right?
You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, we did do.
So to some people, they thought y'all were Baby Avenues, right?
Oh, yeah, see, that's the impression we had left with them.
Yeah.
But see, to this day, they don't know why we became Crips. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think none of us was going to tell them that we was wannabes and got rejected. You know what I'm saying? We were going to tell them that because we had began generating fear in everybody else's heart.
So you guys are disappointed, right? You guys leave, and then eventually you guys have a meeting at Robert and Gerald Duhan.
Oh, yeah, on 83rd, yeah.
So talk about...
That was the next day.
The very next day.
Yeah, that was the next day.
So the meeting that started the Crips happened on 83rd Street. Remember that. This the east side, though.
You see, we had to be something. You know what I'm saying? Well, we had told everybody, but no, we was Avenue. we had the meeting there, and not only did we just have a meeting there and became Crips, what we did do was now, right to all the pretty boys that everybody used to hang around with, it was our turn to get even with them pretty boys. You understand what I'm saying? In order to be a Crip, a real Crip, back then, so we have blue rags, red rags. Every motherfucker here, if they cut their hair and shave it bald.
See that? So they understood that you had to brand that. There had to be a brand, there had to be a look, and that's also how the Cripping caught on like wildfire. There was a look to it.
Every last one of us got to be bald-headed.
Who made that decision?
Shit, we all, Brandon Washington, because he's already bald-headed. He had a funny looking natural anyway. You know what I'm saying? But that was a dare. And then Don Juan, he was the prettiest curly natural. And the bronze that was there saying, no, everybody going crazy, right? Bitch, I tell you what, you gonna be a Crip, you ain't, right? You gonna cut your hair, you don't cut your hair, right? Everybody cut their hair bald. Everybody.
And who?
Even the boys that was once the 77th Street boys and running the neighborhood, they cut their hair bald. The Avenues was a big name to me and respected likewise in that neighborhood and wherever else they went. You know what I mean? So, all of us, was adopted their style of life, and tried to, imitate and be like one. And I had one in particular, like Victor Adams. He adopted me as a little brother. He was a little skinny guy at that time, but later on, as we grew, he got big and he was crippled. He had like a leg defect. You know what I'm saying? With one leg.
Now, this right here is what y'all better know about. Have you ever heard of the Mexican gangs called Lopez 13 and Of course, 1000%. Both of them. But especially, Playboys, that's one of the bigger Mexican gangs. Some right south side of gangs, man. Playboys, Tlese. Now, watch this. This is where Crip come from. The word, the concept of Crip, where it come from. Watch this.
Their style of life, and try to, imitate and be like one. And I had one in particular, like Victor Adams. He adopted me as a little brother. He was a little skinny guy at that time, but later on, as we grew, he got big and he was crippled. He had like a leg defect. You know what I'm saying? With one leg was either shorter than the other one or whatever, but he walked, but he developed that walk and made it a cold stroll, right? We always start walking like Victor Adams and moving like Victor Adams and walking with a limp, right? So yeah, we was acting like we was crippled. I wish I could demonstrate that walk. And moving like Victor Adams and walking with a limp, right?
It's that Crip limp. I know when I was a kid and I get introduced to being a Crip, man, you got to walk with a limp. That all come from Victor Adams, 1969. This real history right here. Rest in peace to the legend A.C. Babalouie.
So yeah, we was acting like we was crippled. I wish I could demonstrate that walk, but I won't. But we had that little walk like this here, right? Because big was big, and we walk like that, right? And we're like one of our legs was shorter than the other. We acting like we was crippled. And we came up with the idea that Crips. You know what I'm saying?
So this whole cripple walk actually originated from Victor Adams.
Victor Adams he don't know, he know now. Because I put it out there. We wouldn't ever tell him back then, because we didn't say Victor Adams hit him upside the head with a dumbbell for trying to imitate him, different ways. See, a lot of people say we was calling ourselves Cribs and Baby Cribs and all that shit. No, nigga, we wasn't spelling our name right. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of us didn't go to school long enough to be educated. A lot of people say we follow the pattern behind the Black Panthers and all that shit. You understand what I'm saying? It never happened.
So when people say...
So he's letting you know they ain't come from the Black Panthers. They weren't trying to protect their community. It was a community revolution in progress, nigga. It was Victor Adams, nigga. He letting you know.
Cribs. Is that just a misspelling?
That's it, man. It's been CIRPS. Some people got tattoos today with CIRPS on their hand. Some people got tattoos today with CRIBS. You know what I'm saying? People just didn't know how to spell back then, partner.
Now, this is where I got to give some pushback. And I spoke, I communicated with Kev Mack about this when I did a review on his stuff, and Kev Mack, I did the top 5. And Kev Mack from his, and again, I look at Kev Mack as the foremost historian, to be frank with you. So with Kev Mack, he explained that was a generational thing. Calling yourself Crip. The baby Crips were calling themselves Cribs. It's just like when the Hoovers came out from Crips to criminal, and originally criminal didn't mean not a Crip. It was just what the name of that generation was pushing criminal. And then after that, criminal took on its own identity of saying, okay, we're going to be anti-Crip and anti-blood. It was a generational thing. You see what I'm saying? So the Cribs was just like that generation was calling themselves baby Cribs, but it still was Crip. The game was always Crip, right? But he's giving you that history. It's history that he's giving you, right? It's history that he is giving you. So I just wanted to take this time in this stream to honor the late, the great, the legend, A.C. Moses, Arthur C. Moses, King, Babalouie, original Crip and original Blood. You know, and give y'all some of this good gangland history, this good rich gangland history. You know, I'll probably be back. I'm going to close this stream out. I'll probably be back either on this channel or Chief Dome. So stay tuned, man. All praise to the Most High. UrbanGrla.com for all your Israelite streetwear needs. Shalom.